Ever wonder what happens in your garden when you're not looking? Well, let's dive into a world that's far more fascinating than you might think. A world where silent conversations take place, and every leaf, every root, every bloom plays a critical role. Welcome to the secret lives of plants. You see, plants aren't just static entities absorbing sunlight. They're living, breathing, and yes, even communicating entities. They're masters of adaptation, thriving in the harshest of environments, from the arid deserts to the lush rainforests. When we talk about communication, it's not in the way we humans do. Plants have their own unique language, a silent one, yet incredibly effective. They interact with their environment, other plants, and even insects through a fascinating array of chemical signals. They warn each other of threats, attract beneficial insects, and even negotiate for resources beneath the soil. Adaptation? It's a plant's second nature. They've evolved to survive in a variety of conditions, developing unique features to conserve water in deserts, or broad leaves to capture the most sunlight in the dense rainforest. Each plant is a testament to nature's ingenuity and resilience, perfectly tailored to its environment. And let's not forget, plants are also fierce competitors. Beneath the soil, it's a constant battle for nutrients and water. Above ground, it's a race towards the sun. They may appear serene, but make no mistake, plants are always in a state of intense interaction with their environment. However, it's not all about survival and competition. Plants also play a pivotal role in nurturing biodiversity. They provide food, shelter, and breeding grounds for countless creatures, contributing to a thriving, balanced ecosystem. So, the next time you step into your garden, remember, it's not just a space filled with plants. It's a bustling, vibrant community of life where every plant is a vital cog in the intricate machinery of nature. The garden is a stage and the plants are the characters, each playing their part, each with their own story. Indeed, plants lead lives as complex as ours, if not more. But what is the science behind these plant behaviors, you may wonder? Well, let's dive into the fascinating world of plant communication and adaptation. Plants, though silent, are far from mute. They use an intricate language of chemical signals known as pheromones to communicate with each other and the world around them. For instance, when a plant is under attack by pests, it releases specific pheromones. These airborne signals alert neighboring plants, which then ramp up their defense by producing chemicals that deter pests, or even attract the pest's natural enemies. It's like a neighborhood watch program, but for plants. Now let's talk about adaptation. Every plant you see, from the delicate orchid to the towering oak, has a secret toolbox of strategies to survive in its unique environment. Take desert plants, for example. They have evolved to thrive in harsh conditions by developing thick, waxy skins to reduce water loss and deep roots to tap into underground water sources. On the other hand, plants in water-rich environments, like rainforests, often have large, broad leaves to maximize photosynthesis and shallow roots to absorb surface water quickly. But how does understanding this science help us as gardeners? Well, when we know what our plants are saying and understand their survival strategies, we can provide them with the care they need. For instance, if we recognize the chemical signals of a plant under pest attack, we can intervene early, potentially saving not just one, but an entire community of plants. Or, by understanding a plant's natural adaptation to specific conditions, we can recreate those conditions in our garden, helping the plant to thrive. And it's not just about survival. Understanding the science of plants can help us enhance their growth, productivity, and beauty. For example, knowing that a tomato plant prefers acidic soil can help us adjust the soil pH accordingly, leading to healthier plants and juicier tomatoes. Understanding these scientific concepts can transform how we care for our gardens. It's like having the secret codes to unlock your garden's full potential. So let's keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing, shall we? So how can we use this science in our gardens? Let's dive into the practical applications, starting with soil health. It's an undeniable fact that healthy soil is the backbone of a thriving garden. Soil is not just dirt, but a living ecosystem teeming with organisms that work in harmony with plants. By incorporating organic matter such as compost or well-rotted manure, we can enhance the soil's structure and fertility. This, in turn, provides a nutrient-rich environment for plant roots and beneficial microorganisms to flourish. Next, let's talk about water management. Remember, water is the lifeblood of plants. It's not just about watering your plants, it's about watering them right. Overwatering can be just as harmful as underwatering. The key is to maintain a balance. Watering in the early morning or late evening when temperatures are cooler can help reduce evaporation and ensure more water is absorbed by the plants. Also consider the individual needs of your plants. Some prefer a good soak, while others thrive in drier conditions. Now, on to pest control. No one likes unwanted guests, especially when they're munching on your precious greenery. But, before you reach for that insecticide, consider this. Not all insects are bad. Many play crucial roles in pollination and pest control themselves. Instead of waging war, why not create a balanced ecosystem where beneficial insects thrive to keep the pesky ones in check? Introduce plants that attract these helpful critters and avoid using harsh chemicals that can disrupt this delicate balance. Finally, remember that every garden is unique. What works in one garden may not work in another. It's a process of trial and error, observation and adaptation. Embrace it. By understanding and applying these concepts, we can create better environments for our plants to thrive. After all, gardening is not just about growing plants, it's about growing with them. What happens when we apply this knowledge to our gardens? Let's journey into that, shall we? When we use scientific understanding as our guiding compass, the transformations we witness in our gardens can be nothing short of miraculous. It's like a symphony where every note, every instrument plays a part in creating a harmonious whole. In a well-tuned garden, each plant knows its role and performs it to perfection. The sunflowers stand tall, reaching for the sun, their golden faces a beacon for bees and butterflies. The tomatoes, plump and juicy, bask in the sunlight, growing sweeter with each passing day. The herbs, with their aromatic leaves, enrich the soil, repelling pests and inviting beneficial insects. When we understand the language of plants, we can create a garden where life thrives. Flowers bloom with more vibrancy, fruits ripen with more flavor, and the air hums with the busy song of pollinators. It's a place where nature's cycle of growth, decay, and regeneration unfolds in all its glory. But it's not just about the plants. A garden cared for with knowledge and love has a transformative effect on us too. It becomes a sanctuary, a place of peace and quietude away from the hustle of the world. It's a space that invites us to slow down, to connect with the rhythm of nature, and to find joy in the simple act of nurturing life. And there's a deeper magic at work here. As we care for our gardens, we become more attuned to the subtle shifts in the seasons, the gentle ebb and flow of life. We become more mindful, more present, more connected to the world around us. It's a journey of discovery, of learning, and of growth that extends far beyond the garden gate. As the saying goes, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. And when we garden with knowledge, we are not just growing plants, we're cultivating hope, resilience, and a deep reverence for the incredible web of life that sustains us all. As we can see, knowledge is power when it comes to gardening. What does the future hold for our gardens? Imagine a world where every rooftop, every balcony, every spare inch of urban space is transformed into a lush, green oasis. That's the potential of urban gardening. By applying the science we've discussed, we can turn concrete jungles into flourishing urban forests. Imagine vertical gardens scaling the sides of skyscrapers, providing not just beauty, but also fresh air, temperature regulation, and even food. Picture community gardens in every neighborhood where people come together to grow, learn, and connect over the shared love of nature. Now let's take it a step further. Envision a world where gardens are not just sustainable, but regenerative. Gardens that give back to the environment more than they take. This is the potential of sustainable gardening. By understanding the secret life of plants, we can design gardens that improve soil health, promote biodiversity, and sequester carbon, helping to combat climate change. Imagine gardens that are self-watering, using rainwater harvesting systems, and self-fertilizing, through composting and companion planting. Gardens that are teeming with life, from earthworms in the soil to birds in the trees, each playing a crucial role in the garden's ecosystem. But this future is not just a dream, it's a possibility that is within our reach. By understanding the science of plants, by applying this knowledge to our gardens, we can bring this future to life. We can create gardens that are not just beautiful, but also beneficial. Gardens that provide food, improve air quality, support wildlife, and even improve our mental health. Gardens that are not just spaces to live in, but spaces that truly bring life. The future of our gardens is a world where nature and urban life coexist harmoniously. A world where gardens are not just a luxury, but a necessity. A world where every child grows up with dirt under their nails and a love for nature in their heart. The future of our gardens is in our hands. Let's use our knowledge to create better, more sustainable green spaces.